If you're peeling back the layers of what it really means to be well, let's talk about one of the most overlooked foundations of health: water. Your body is made up of over 60 to 70% of water. Every cell, every thought, every emotion depends on proper hydration. And yet, most tap water today contains toxins and microplastics that burden the body instead of nourish it. This is why I love Kangen water by Enagic. Through a process called electrolysis, the machine creates high pH, antioxidant rich water that's rich in minerals like magnesium and calcium. It's designed to deeply hydrate your cells, like drinking fresh water from a mountain stream. The higher the pH settings support mineral density and cellular hydration, which directly impacts your energy, mental clarity, mood, and overall well-being. Here's a fun fact. Just a 1% drop in hydration can increase symptoms of anxiety and low mood. Hydration isn't just physical, it's emotional and mental too. If we're serious about becoming fully human, fully embodied, and fully alive, we can't ignore the water we drink every single day. If this resonates, reach out. There's a link in the show notes to contact me directly. Your body and your nervous system will thank you. For years, I would sit in meditation, accessing higher states of bliss, of stillness, of genuine peace throughout my whole system. Yet, once I opened my eyes and started living in my life in the day, I noticed this wasn't translating over. And I kept going back to my meditation, extending my hours that I was sitting and devoting this time to access these states. I call this above is bliss, below is suffering. And I lived there for years. So, what this actually feels like is confusion. It's a disconnect from the two different realms that aren't disconnected, that are one. And what became really clear to me was using meditation as an escape route, as an escape, as a bypassing, spiritual bypassing. I didn't want to admit it for some time, but that's what I was actively doing, bypassing what I was experiencing in my life. And that was an inner critic that was so harsh, inner thoughts that was me being against myself, not of self love, not of kindness, not even of presence. It was judgment, judgment, even towards others. It was this loop that I couldn't break. There was people pleasing behaviors to fit in, and me masking who I really was because I didn't know who I was. I wasn't letting myself feel and experience and be in who I was because I kept escaping. And at this point, I was so confused. I kept thinking and asking myself, why is this happening? I literally was judging life. How can this be happening when I meditate for X amount of hours, when I go on yoga retreats and work with spiritual masters and do this devotion work constantly, yet in my day-to-day life, my adrenals were fried. I was burnt out completely. For in my work, full-time job at the time, I wasn't happy. I put on a brave face all the time, but inside was an absolute shambles and a storm. That was constant. And I didn't show anyone this. I didn't want to. It wasn't until I started doing more somatic work and that really, truthfully, started with spending time outside more, being one with nature, Mother Earth, sitting on the ground, breathing in the fresh air, walking barefooted, organizing myself to go on regular walks where I could commune with nature and feel my body, feel present with the surroundings around me, not trying to escape anywhere, but being in the environment that I was in. And then it led me to learn more about trauma, which is now a passion of mine, understanding how trauma is formed and where it really sits within us. It's not in the mind. It's not in the mind. It's all in the body. The mind just listens to the body. And the body never lies. And this is what I noticed. My body was tense with this inner critic, this loop constantly going. I was tense in my jaw, my shoulders. I was carrying so much, like a heavy backpack. Lower back, I had constant lower back issues. And I just kept telling myself, oh, it's because I have scoliosis and I wear a brace, wore a brace. But no, I knew, I just knew there was something more than that. And although I kept devoting time to meditation, I also started to focus on moving my body intentionally. I started doing sensual dancing. I worked with a earth-based shaman to learn about the cycles in life and the seasons and my own feminine cycles, coming back to her to be more in my body. And I started doing slower movements. I've always been a gym junkie, training, lifting heavy weights, building my muscles, which I still love to do. Yet I started doing more feminine practices around Tai Chi and Qigong, embodying that softer energy. Meditation was me dissociating. It was me not being ready to face what my body wanted to share with me. I was scared. I was in the unknown with what was happening because from external sources, I was doing all the things, right? But it was really me coming back in my body that then allowed me to move through stored traumas from my childhood, from not being seen, from constant people pleasing to feel safe at home, to hold the family together because there was a lot of emotional and verbal abuse, a lot of shouting, yelling, where I never felt safe. And EMDR therapy, after receiving it personally myself and then training as an EMDR therapist, things then really started to shift. And I paired that with breathwork. I learnt my breathwork training at the same time as my EMDR. I got qualified in both, and what a powerful combination that has been for moving through, freeing myself from what's binded me for so long and beyond myself, my whole lineage. I kept seeing these patterns repeat and repeat. I saw it in my mum, I saw it in my nonna, holding down our voice just so others feel comfortable. And through my own somatic work and the help of EMDR and breath work, I essentially gave myself the keys to my own prison that I had put myself in because I decided no more. I don't want to live in anger and being passively aggressive to everyone because I'm not choosing to set myself free from patterns that have kept my whole lineage line stuck. No, I know I'm here to live a life of joy, and that was my motivation. The meditation states, the high vibe states. I just knew that I could experience that with my eyes open in the now, whilst juggling, whilst living fully with work, with being a wife, with being all the roles that I was wearing. And now I'm in that place. I'm living that place where I access these high vibe states constantly, constantly, because I keep devoting my practice to my body guiding me first through being present, through listening. And that's the difference. I still meditate. I love to meditate and hang out with my guides, with my higher self. I love it. It's a big part of my life. Yet it's bridged now. It's fully inhabiting my body, not escaping it anymore. And if you notice this loop occurring for yourself, I want you to know that you're not failing, you're not needing to do anything more, but let it be seen, let it be heard. And remember, spirituality is one way of expanding and growing yourself, yet it also needs the human element as well, which is the body. The body needs to be included. Rooted, alive, full out.